Bricks and Minifigs is your one-stop shop for all things LEGO. Hit the link below to find a store near you.
Hi, my name's Martin Turek. I'm Brick Vibes Only on Instagram. And this is On the Road Again, which I built as my entry for the Let's Build series for Speed last year. And it's kind of built from a different model where I added the van, which is sort of my dedication to Mo Childs, because that's his van that he drives to all the conventions across this US. And so there's the moving background. The cities are like Chicago, and then there's Billund, the Lego house is there. So I tried to represent places that he would go. And his car is full of, Lego. And then there's a little bit extra. So Kate Hunter, the brick huntress, on her way here last year, her car broke down. And so Mo had to help her bring the T-Rex mosaic. So there's a little 4x4 T-Rex in the back as well. So this was my tribute to them. And I was really happy about how it worked out. And yeah, it's pretty fun.
That's such a fun idea. Not only a really incredibly kind of mechanized build here, but also just the representing kind of other people in the LEGO community, I think is really neat. So take us through this, maybe kind of starting at the back section here and moving our way up and kind of how you have each of these sections running.
Yeah, so actually I started it in with the gray one first, because last year I got the monster truck as part of the speed build competition. And so I wanted to see how the suspension worked, and I built that with sort of an off-road, and then I expanded it. The hardest part was the vertical with the blue clouds, because I had this image of those clouds. This was part of the VIP spring set, I think, last year. I had a lot of them. And so gearing that and trying to get it to not sag was really difficult. I tried to do one gear to have the whole thing off one, but it was so hard. So I ended up using two motors with the Bluetooth. And the nice thing is you can control the speed and the direction really easy that way. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy. And it was kind of sitting back. Mo said, please bring it. So I brought it, I dialed it up, and it works, and I'm super happy. So yeah, I'm happy to run it while I'm here. And of course, as soon as I can't leave with the Bluetooth, because you never know what's going to happen. But yeah, no, I'm pretty happy. I free-handed the car because he has 1x2 license plates that he was handing out as swag. So I'm like free-handed it from a photo. So I was pretty proud of that. I think the van is my favorite part of all of it.
And then the next layer back, you said, represents some different cities. So how did you incorporate the different kind of like trees and buildings and things there?
Yeah, so I went with Chicago, so the Willis Tower is in there, and then there's some forest, and the Lego house is there. And so the challenge of that is it alternates between a 2-wide plate and a 1-wide. And when you have a building that spans 3, you got to kind of use an extra height, so it sort of pops up over. Same with the fences. The fences can't, because the fences are 4 wide, and so they have to kind of sit on a 1x2 and then kind of cantilever over. But yeah, no, it was. And it's funny, like once in a while, I did notice one of the buildings has fallen off, and so there's a gap somewhere. But yeah, I really tried to capture. I wanted to do Portland, but I'm like, I don't know enough about the iconic landmarks here. So there's a couple of long bridges and things like that. But yeah, so.
That brings us to kind of the sky portion in the back. So what is this mechanism?
So yeah, so it's a conveyor belt, the tracks on the side, and so it's pretty ugly if you look at it from the back. It's just all like yellow bricks. Those are bricks from like 1980 that I had in my bin from when I was a kid. But the interesting, if you look at it from the top, I had to use one cylinders to lift it away from the track, because the problem was it was sagging so much. I had to put other rails underneath that it's sliding on to keep it flat. So that actually was a lot of trial and error. And then these are wheels from the haunted house to kind of keep it back and keep the whole thing tight. But I'm really impressed with how well it's been running. Yeah, no, it seems to be for the amount of weight that's on that if you ever try to do anything like that where it's vertical, it's how do you manage the weight? That's the trick.
What have been the biggest challenges here in terms of keeping this thing running while you're at the show?
Stay here the whole time. And then basically what happens is if it breaks and it just tears itself apart, you gotta be careful. So want to be here to stop it, and then I can fix it. And but so far the only things that's really happening are those gray those plates are coming off once in a while because of the vibration. They just sort of pop loose, but it doesn't seem to affect it that much. And then the van's vibrating a little bit, so sometimes it twists. But otherwise, yeah, it's actually just been running really smooth, so pretty happy about that.
Yeah. So builds like this always fascinated me with all this movement and mechanization. Is this the type of building you do often? And what other types of builds have you done kind of in this theme and style?
I would say every third build I do has got movement in it. I got 4 here, and one of them also does. But I really love the conveyor belt. I did a build 2 years ago where it was I had presents, unwrapped presents going into a building coming out wrapped with 2 separate conveyor belts. So that kind of started me on this idea. And then the Jurassic Park thing I did last year used the conveyors. So yeah, it's whatever. And I'm real trial and error guy when it comes to technique. I don't do like calculating or gearing. I just kind of try it out and see what I can make work. But I definitely do a lot of different things, and the Let's Build series, I participate every month, and that kind of fuels me along. So all 4 of my builds here are part of the Let's Build series, and so definitely that's something that will keep me going all year too.
Yeah. And if people want to see more of your work, where's the best place to check that out?
On Instagram, Brick Vibes Only. Okay. Yeah.
Very cool.
So I try to put reels up and post as much as I can as I go. Yeah.
Well, awesome work. So definitely we'll make sure to have a link to that in the description of the video where people can check out your work. But thank you for bringing this out to the show and for kind of babysitting it for us here to make sure it's running. I appreciate it.
Well, thanks. Thanks, Josh. I really appreciate it.